Hey Gavax here. So we got ourselves another patch, the December one. Usually these come about like once a month, so this is going to carry us through the Christmas season, I believe. Maybe come up with another one. I don't know. It didn't really do a lot to address the meta, but there is one big change. I guess there's more than one big change, but we'll get into that as we go through and break down. We'll, of course, go onto the field to see a little bit of it. We're not going to do a full-on, like, every single formation brought in here type of testing, but we'll kind of look through that in the coming weeks, month, as we, kind of approach it on both stream and YouTube. So, Madden 20 NFL title update December, addressing specific stability and usability issues in Madden 20. Now, the interesting thing is like the subtitle right here, stability issues. They never really explain like what it is. They never really tell us, hey, we're working on the DC glitch, we're working on you guys not being able to like, lose your top three, your the desyncs that have been happening too, in-house rules. They just kind of say, we did it. And I don't know why they don't explain a little bit more about what they're working on. I really wish they would. If this did stop, because some of the DC glitches, because when I made that DC glitch video, the ways that I made got patched out like a couple days later, and they made no mention of it anyway, right? It just like stopped working, and I started seeing things on Twitter like, hey, it's not working anymore. I was like, oh, cool. But there are other ways of DC glitching since then came out that are uncounterable, like the counters that we showed. So I don't know if that got patched today. We'll see in the coming weeks if DCs are still a thing. But let's go through what they actually have written down on the patch notes. For Mutt, right off the top, they did Mutt Leak showed off the motivators animation for the pack opening. I didn't look at it because I like being surprised. And the thing about the motivators pack opening last year for Mutt is that we had it in game in the files, but we ended up never getting a motivators promo. So even though it's in the game files, like we saw last year with the legend stuff too, doesn't mean we're actually going to get it in game. So I just want to let you know, even though motivators animation is there, it doesn't necessarily mean we're getting motivators this year. So introductory paragraph, key highlights. We are going to move past the key highlights because we're going to get into all of that stuff. So we don't even need to look at the highlights, but they talk about basically this NFL Live Playbooks highlight that they're kind of going for. They did new X factors. Ravens Lamar Jackson, basically the league MVP, is going to replace Phillip Rivers, who's been struggling a bit. Bosa got it, replacing Rams. Todd Gurley got X factor. Jamal Adams, well-deserved. McCourty, good player. Chandler Jones, solid. Calais Campbell. Sadly, no TJ Watt yet, but it is what it is. Updated superstar players. Got Godwin, Griffin, Humphrey, Stanley, Ramczyk, Diggs, Fournette, Ford, Jones, Ertz, Rivers, who got downgraded from X Factor, just a superstar. Like, same with Ertz, downgraded. So these are kind of like a little bit lower, but still superstar players. No longer equipped with any abilities. I think this is a mistake. Darius Leonard, still a freaking stud. After coming back from the injury, he shouldn't have been downgraded. Still these are still good players. They just haven't played. Like Garrett, I think he's just suspended, so that's probably why they downgraded him. Gurley, still a great player, but injuries have really sapped a lot of his explosiveness. But still, if you watch him play, you're still like, all right, that's not Gurley. Superstar X Factor reshuffling is part of our ongoing continuous development. Okay, that's the same paragraph we've seen a few times. Global updates, general stability and connectivity improvements. Hopefully that's working on a lot of the DC issues and desyncs. Player likenesses upgrades for Hogan, Thompson, Turner, Boston, and Ian Thomas. Chiefs alternate helmet with gray face mask, chin strap on the Zenith, and stadium clocks at Packer Stadium. All right, kind of relatively small changes in my opinion, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them. Franchise update. The Omaha ability is currently using the ultimate team trigger conditions rather than the franchise triggers. I don't know what I don't recall what the franchise trigger was, but Omaha is crazy. I should have really done a video on that when that came out. I'll probably do one if Peyton gets the Omaha ability right off the bat, because that will be crazy. You can see the defensive players' artwork. The coverage is artwork unless they're in Bluff Blitz. Whew, that'll be weird if he gets an NFL 100 card with that. The QB version of First One Free will have significantly different zone conditions and franchise. Following the ability changes apply to only new online and offline modes. T.Y. Hilton and Keenan Allen. Fix an issue where coaches would sign a player to extensions and go to edit their player. The contract would change current year's contract. All right, so there's a couple bug squashes there in franchise. Gameplay updates, the thing that I'm most interested in is the playbook updates right here. And, well, one other thing. New formations, defensive 4-3 even, 6-1, 46 Cub, Dime Sugar 3-2, Dime Sugar Weak, offensive Heisman package. Now, the big thing about this, why this isn't going to be a huge issue for us right away, is that these things aren't going to be in MUT. So NFL Live Playbooks will not yet be offered in Ultimate Team. So their impact on Ultimate Team players is minimal right now. But they will, hopefully, we will make them available in the near future once every playbook is populated with enough content to offer the maximum amount of value to our players. So I don't know, like, it sucks right now because of the NFL Live Playbooks. As you see above here, there's like NFL Live Playbooks. You see how it has the A afterwards, and then if you turn it off, it goes to regular playbooks. So I don't like this solution. It feels hacked together. They said they had to do this to stick with a custom playbook. I'm sick of them just basically duct taping things together, hacking it together, and calling it a day. I mean, I know they said they had some caps on the old playbook system, so that's why they couldn't add more formations. I don't know, obviously I don't know their coding. I don't have any coding skill like that for Madden at all. So I'm just guessing, like, I don't know why they couldn't remove the caps. I don't know what, like, it would cause a lot of issues because, you fix one thing, change one thing, and it causes a bug 5 other places. But it does seem weird that they couldn't just replace the data in the new playbooks with the old playbooks and keep those references for custom playbooks. But I'm guessing this is, and what I've heard some feedback is that this is kind of like the hackathon for 20 and 21. They'll kind of go with this new system. So whether they get rid of custom playbooks altogether next year, I mean, my wet dream, and I said this on Twitter, is the fact that we get custom play creators. And then we have zones that we can do to counter that, blocking issues that we can counter different blitzes in. I mean, how sweet would that be to go the old NFL head coach style, old Madden style of creating your own play, creating your own system, and, I mean, offering even more in-depth customization. I think that would just be friggin' phenomenal. It doesn't look like that's their path forward. I think they want to keep doing this, and they're going to kind of go with more updated playbooks going forward. Which, I mean, that's their design decision to help balance the game that way, to make it more realistic to the NFL and the plays that the teams are running. The only issue I have with, like, MUT players is that they never really designed playbooks for MUT, right? Our spread formations are frequently just 3 wide receivers and a tight end, because frequently in the NFL, the tight end is more talented than the 4th receiver on the roster, which is why the tight end is there. But in MUT, we have the number of wide receivers to play that, so you should let us play wide receivers in the spread formation instead of forcing a tight end onto us in that position, because we can no longer sub wide receivers for tight ends. We used to, but then it was figured out as too cheesy, putting like golden ticket Dez at tight end, throwing him on a streak or a cross or something like that. Anyways, so I hope this changes. I mean, there's so many things they can do to make these NFL playbooks into more MUT, or maybe just create a custom playbook that allows us to maximize our MUT rosters. That would also be fine as more alternate playbooks rather than just team playbooks. So I know we've had some issues with custom playbooks this year with glitches and stuff, but I kind of want to get to a little bit of the new formations. Like, one of these things I saw Zan tweet about this, that the new 6-2 formation in the Patriots playbook. Now, the Seahawks offense, Patriots defense, these are just a couple of the ones that were changed. I'll go through it and I'll list them again. The defensive formations that were added for the live playbooks, aka the new ones: Bears, Dolphins, Lions. You can read them right here. Patriots, Rams, Chiefs, Jaguars, Jets, Patriots. Wait, Patriots twice? Saints, Lions, Vikings, Packers, Ravens. And, alright, cool. And then offense formations were added to Ravens, 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, Jets, Chargers, spread. So somebody said the spread playbook didn't get any adjustments yet, so I guess we'll see. Anyways, I want to show off a couple of the new ones. We got 4-3 even, 6-1, 4-6 Cub. We'll just do the 6-1, which Zan said should help us stop stretch. So let's just do like a normal, I don't know, Will Sam blitz. We'll send both guys off both edges. And this should shut it down, I believe, because it really good job. The Patriots used this during the Super Bowl to help stop the stretch. All right, look at that. We got so many people over there. Let's test this out. Let's see if this will help us stop the stretch. Nope. Stretch, still an easy 10 yards, 15 yards. So you still have to put in your Mortal Kombat codes to overload the side, even though you have numbers there. 1, 2, 3, with him on the outside shoulder, outside leverage, this guy filling. It's just, this guy has to scrape over the top to stop the stretch. It is what it is, right? I mean, you could put this guy, you can move him over. This is what you have to do. You have to use him and get over top to stop the stretch, which could definitely work. Let's watch it. But the way the leverage happens in this game, do you see how that one guy got sucked in? They just don't do a good job of filling outside. They don't do a good job of recognizing stretch yet. So sadly, stretch will still be the meta. The only thing they did do in the game to help stop the run, the adjustment to the meta that they brought in was they fixed the misaligned player issue. But Tuning to prevent user-controlled defenders from triggering fake-out animations versus ball carrier special moves, juke, spin, hurdle, regardless of ratings matchup on competitive game style only, which is all online play. This applies to all versus all ball carriers, including those X Factor and Superstar abilities. So you no longer get faked out or sucked into a bad animation as a user, which is huge, which I love. They're taking small steps to help the patch. Sadly, we don't have any type of force defender patch or anything like that to help stop the stretch. So you're gonna have to user it. A lot of people were clicking off with unfakeable players. The thing about your user and unfakeable and spin and stuff, the ball carrier moves so far on the field with their superstar moves, and it sucks I don't have a superstar ball carrier right now. But their spins and their jukes move so far, like unfakeable wouldn't work. Your user can't move that far on defense or as quickly as the offensive guys because you're trying to react, and you're kind of just stuck there. As he moves like 4 yards one way, you're stuck. So even though you're not getting faked out or brought into an animation, you can still get beat with just the raw distance they can move on a lot of those spins and jukes. So it's still going to be very powerful. The juking and shit and stretch is still going to be meta. So even against something designed specifically to stop outside runs in the 6-2, you're still going to get out-leveraged, out-beat, out-competed, and it sucks. Because we still know contain blitzes are still the meta too, and we don't see any contain blitz issues. Like they get off the edge, the offensive line blocking screws them up. So it's still there. So online meta, I don't see changing. One, because they're not bringing this to MUT and online gameplay. But fix an issue causing the offense getting into random formation and trying to hurry up in MUT squads. That's cool too. The defense also got in random formations into like field goal block and stuff. So hopefully they fix that. But I'm kind of liking the Heisman package. That's kind of a neat offensive. They just like revealed it a few weeks ago, right? And it's already in the game. So I really like the new formations that they're bringing them in the game. I just hope that they bring them into MUT soon. And that's basically the patch. Overall, patch is underwhelming, but they're making the nice steps towards a better game with the user being unfakeable and new formations. That's all we can really hope for, right? Is that they're not making it worse. That they're actually taking steps. So, small steps, but still steps. Looks like stepping on the moon. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think of this patch. Again, I'm still going to get super angry at the game. Still, I don't see anything about defenders and in the videos I made the past week about defenders not reacting the balls directly at them or right over their heads. So there's still a lot of zone issues. Corners, crossers, stretch, run game are still a little overpowered, along with some abilities. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.